Monday, the 22nd of November. I hope you're having a great Monday wherever you are today. Lots to talk about this morning, as always, on a Monday. Plus, more stock just arrived. Always a good thing around here. And yeah, love to know how everybody's weekends went. All very beautiful weekend here in the Bay. It's like finally spring has arrived, which is great. I was busy, very busy around the weekend, which was awesome. What about you, Claire? Are you busy?
Yeah, I'm doing my garden.
Yeah, oh yeah, all of us are on a gardening jag here. Claire's got her garden, digging your spuds. Heather's doing a polytunnel, and she got all that up and a door on that, didn't she, and netted and stuff. Her sweet corn, she's winning the sweet corn race in this, in this office. Yeah, but I can't claim the vegetable garden in my house. If I'm brutally honest, I don't plant. It's my son is a vegetable gardener, and he is it's all on. So I hope you guys have been able to. Good morning. I hope you guys have been able to get out and do some gardening and have some nice weather and all that good stuff as well. And with any luck, fingers crossed, there'll be a little bit more freedom for you Aucklanders sometime soon. Big fingers crossing for you guys. I did get a little bit of knitting done over the weekend, not a massive amount. I mean, there's not been huge progress, but I am starting to, as you can see, move through the colour shifts with my disco. That's with pulse, and I'm loving it. This is Hitchhiker by Martina Bean, and yeah, I did 3 teeth over the weekend. It just, it's pick up, put down. It's living in my purse at the moment because I just pick it up and put it down whenever I'm out and about. So that's been cool. And that's sort of about it, really. I've been sort of chugging along. Oh, good morning. Everybody's here. Yes, and flowers in the garden too. Yes, I have to see. That's what I do. I'm a flower garden girl. So I've got loads of roses here at the moment. Roses actually are great. And what else have I been picking? I've got roses, and I've actually been moving stuff around. We had some sort of earthwork renovations at ours earlier in the year, so I'm only just finally starting to get things back on track post all the disruption. So what have we got happening here at the moment? So Claire is over there madly, you can hear her tapping away. She's madly loading stuff up. I've been in early loading stuff up. You guys last week loved all the Knit Pro that went up. So that is all up and live, and it is sitting in the Knit Pro section. But we have been working really, really hard this week, or actually the last few weeks, to create a Christmas store, which we've got in the shop here, but also loads of Christmas gifts. So I have been moving stock over into a gift section. So if you need to find that on the website, they're in a few places, but the easiest place I've gone and placed it is when you search yarn by brand, which just says yarn by brand, you'll see one there that just says gifts. So I've gone and put everything there. There is another gift section, but it's a little bit more difficult to find. I find if I put it there, it's easier for you to track down. So that is where I've got that. And we have not only got a lot of those Knit Pro items in there, but also a lot of the Ashford items. I have to admit, Woolwinder and Swiftgate happened last week. So did not expect that to happen. I mean, we bought in more Woolwinders and Swifts than we ever have before, and you guys went crazy. And it's just as well our Ethan, he went live and did an extra video because they had some stocks, and then you wiped him out as well in no time flat. So yeah, it was crazy. So it was so they're all gone, and we can't get any more from them, can we? No, not till February. There you go. However, when Claire was on the phone with them, we did get back in some of these, which are the weaving starter kits. We had these in last Christmas. They are fantastic. If you are looking for a really special gift for someone or for yourself, they are a wonderful kit because they are a beautiful kit set loom. And in there you have yarn, you've got fibre, you've got instructions, and you've got this really wonderful, and I'm just going to put this back together before I lose it all. And you've got this really, really wonderful little starter loom, that all comes as part of the kit to create your own wall hangings. So they give you everything that you need for the first one, but once you've actually sort of started and played around with these techniques, you can actually add any sort of texture that you've got at home in there. We've got, last year we only had the Brights one in, which is this one here, but this year Claire has also got the monos in, and that's what she's just loaded up now, the mono kits too. So that's in whites and greys and cream, and they're fantastic. We've only got a very limited number of these, so if you're thinking that you might like to get these, make sure you get them quick. They should be live, just if they're not quite showing. They're good to go now in the stock showing. There you go, good to go now in the stock showing. So those are, hold on, let me check, I think you wrote the price on one of them for me, $85 each. So those are now in from Ashford. So tell you what, Ashford's, and we've been selling heaps of felting kits too. They just make such great stocking stuffers. They start at $9.25 and run through to about, I think the most expensive one is about $15. Great kits, really great kits. So they are on both the gift section and also to the Ashford section, so do make sure you check those out. The other thing too, I'll remind you as well, is of course this Friday's Black Friday. We are going to be celebrating Black Friday just for the day, just for Friday, both in store here and online. So if you're local or you are going to be in the Bay on Friday, do come and see us, because we will be having items in stock out at incredible prices just for that day. Once we get through and see what's left over, some of those might get added up for you next week. We'll just see how we go. So those are all things that we've got going on Friday. Plus, as I mentioned before, we are doing a coupon for a flat discount right across everything except the sale page, which will be everything in store on that Friday only. However, of course, the rate things, some things have been selling. You might need to sort of squeak in and get them early in case you miss out, but definitely everything will be happening on Friday. I'm going to announce that code for you guys on Thursday, so you're going to get a heads up on the code before it goes out in the newsletter late Thursday night, so you will get a heads up. But Black Friday with that code, and you have to use the code. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to use the code. There's no rain checks on the code. If you don't put the code in, you won't get the discount. So you've got to use the code. We can't go back and apply the code retrospectively. I can't, again, emphasize how important that is, because believe me, if we try and do it, this one over here will have my guts for garters. Am I correct in saying that?
My weekend will be gone if that happens.
Yes,
I will not be happy.
Yes, exactly. And if she's not happy, she makes my life a living hell. So trust me. We want to get the code in. If you're shopping in store, that's not going to be a problem, because we've actually applied that at the checkout. And again, it applies. It doesn't apply to in store to anything that's on sale. So we will actually be having special sale yarns, but those are going out at promotional prices much better than the discount for Black Friday. So look forward to that. There's some really exciting stuff there. And obviously the 15% off excludes gift vouchers. Hold on, I'll just put that down there just to remind myself. I can just hear you going, oh yeah, I just remembered that now. We forgot one year. Got ourselves in a power of poo. Anyway, what else has happened this week? Oh, today, the other thing that switched over today, if you have had a look at the sale page, is Southlander. Our Southlander spotlight is still continuing. And it is continuing from today with Southlander bulky. So I saw a load of Southlander go out on the weekend. It's now the turn of Southlander bulky. So if you've been wanting to whip up something super fast for Christmas, or I have been seeing the sexiest felted bags rolling around on both the outdoor layer and on the speakeasy, using some Southlander. Southlander felts fabulously well if you're doing knitted felt, and I know Southlander bulky is great for felted slippers or anything like that, because it's got a little bit of extra give to it. So those are definitely something to check out and have a look out, and that is now up for $11.95. So if you've been waiting, if you've had a pattern in the wings that you've been waiting for Southlander bulky, it is there. Apologies, there are a few colours out of stock. We were hoping to get them in time, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So apologies on that. We are out, I think, about three shades are not quite there, but there is stock for the rest of it. So do make sure you jump in and grab those. So that's what's happening there. Now, I am going to feature, one last housekeeping thing before I feature what I'm going to do today. The photography came back in from Steph over the weekend, well, actually on Friday, the fabulous Steph from Available Light Photography, and she has been photographing our pulse yarns, and I know you guys have been wanting to see the pulse. She does such a wonderful job, and pulse is actually quite difficult to photograph because the colours move and shift on the ball so dramatically. So she can't just photograph a single ball. She has to so what she does is she photographs several balls and then puts a compilation together to give you an idea of the moods and shifts and the ombres within pulse. And it's a great way of doing it. So those have now all gone up and they look amazing. I've been looking at some pattern ideas to put together a newsletter for pattern suggestions for pulse. It's really easy actually when you see the pulse page now, particularly if you're looking on a computer where you can see all the thumbnails together so you can get a better idea. You can sort of see where you've got some fades and graduations going on with different colours. So if you're wanting to make things like the shift or night shift from Angela Mari and you're wanting to create fades, you can do that a lot more easily now by seeing a lot of those colours. So those are all up and they look fantastic. They really do look great. And as I said, I'm knitting with the disco at the moment, but you can now see all those colours photographed if you've been waiting and holding off those. Or to be honest, you might want to pick those up on Friday when we've got the Black Friday sale. So that's, and don't panic about stocks on that. There's plenty of stock to go around. So definitely, if you're after some pulse, Friday could be your day. So those are all up and ready, which is wonderful. And that then segues to what I want to talk about today, which is the new pattern release that dropped. Oh, there we go, because I've just bought it from the Rip store. The new pattern release from Libby Johnson. Look at that. That is Queenie. And this was a wardrobe toolbox pattern that has now been put on general release. And it is a gorgeous, generous shawl pattern, and I know a number of Speak Easy members who have actually knitted this. I know Margaret Collins actually was one of the Margaret from Squishy McDo did a stunning one using some of her fantastic hand-dyed yarns, and it is just beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And what I love about this design is that it's made up. Libby's gone and thought about little elements that you can use, and particularly if you've got a few skeins of unicorn things in your stash and you want to use them up. So what you have there is a main body of DK yarn through here. Then you've got another section through here, which is she's gone and used actually Spin Cycle, which, you know, for many people may have a skein or two, but I'm going to talk about pulse with that. And then there's also, that's gone and broken up with beautiful waves here of lush mohair, and you only need a small amount of mohair in there. So if you've got something at home like a single ball or a part ball left over, or you might have something like this sitting around, this will clean that up beautifully. So I thought, let's have a look at some combinations that you can do with that we have in our selection that you can do for Queenie. So I've gone and grabbed a whole bunch of yarns just from the shop in combination to give you some ideas, but chances are you may have something already in your stash that you can use up. It's looking like, just from the data that I've got from the pattern, is that you'll need, it looks like if we're doing 50-gram balls in DK, 4 balls of each of the two main colours plus a single ball of the mohair is what I'm working off. Now I haven't had that 100% 100% confirmed from Lib, but just doing my quick mathematics, I think that's what we're going to be good on. So I've gone and started as pulse as my starting point, because that is what gives you that beautiful flow around the outside. So what you then often want is you need, where will those colours flow and what they will do. So the first one I picked up here was, and I've taken my glasses off, is Sway, which is one of the existing colours. But as you can see, those are those beautiful pinks and greens and everything there. So the next thing that you want to do is like, okay, well, with this, where are we going to go? What are we going to do as that main colour that sits through, through the main body of the shawl? And the first one I actually grabbed was this one here. Now this is Hepburn, which is from the limited edition Vintage Noir collection that came out during earlier in the year. And they work quite well because in this pulse here, there is sort of, you can't really quite see it, but there is actually a jadey tone that works as part of the ombre within the pulse. So even though they're separate colors, there is a slight sort of connection together. And then what you want to be able to do is throw in a pop of color or something to pull it all together. And I thought that with the mauve here as the pop of color would be incredible, and that is Spellbound. And can't you see we're pulling all of those together and that working really, really well. So that is sort of one option. So that is a Pulse, what did I say? Pulse Sway, Spellbound in Whisper, and Birdman from, I said Hepburn, didn't I, before? Sorry, Birdman. Mind you, Hepburn would work because Hepburn's the pink one. That would work as well. I should have grabbed one of those too. Or, that's one option. The other option too was the blue. I grabbed this. This was Brando. See, Brando would still work with that, and you could go there, but then again, I would be inclined, you could either do that, which means that you've got those two colour points coming together, or you could be a little bit more adventurous and then throw a bright pop of green in as well. So there are different options here. If you're wanting something a little bit warmer, or a little bit sort of punchier, these are two of the newer colours. This one is, and I can't see the Strobe. I'm blind. That's Strobe. One of the new colours, really rich, bright, intense. Of course, that screams Aria all over it. That was my point that I started. So then it's like, well, what do you put with that? And actually, I am inclined, there are two options that I plucked out. The first one actually was this one here, which is Cagney, which is just the plain grey. So then it lets these guys be the feature of the piece. So your actual, and this grey will allow the beautiful textured stitching across the body of the shawl to really pop, and then give you this fabulous flare at the bottom. That was a thought. But also too, the Brando would work as well, and that would give you a really beautiful broody shawl. The other one, if you wanted to go slightly different and a wee bit lighter, is this one here. This is Lace Wing from Flight. That is also really lovely, another lovely option. So it's about having a play around with colour. And I've got another combo that I thought I'd show you. This is another combination I thought I would show you. And this again is playing around with, so this again, another one of our new ones. This is Rhythm, which is oranges and these little hints of purple in there, which then instantly with the Spellbound, as you can see, happy friends, happy friends. You could then go with a cream, which would be quite subtle, or something like that. Now that is rosewater rather, from Vintage, or Monarch. See, look at that, they're happy. I know, if you in here, Helen, this has got Helen Williams written all over it, that one, hasn't it? That's very you, Helen, very, very you. Or if you want to play with complementary colours, there's another option. There's that Brando there again, actually, and you can toss that one out. And if you wanted to complementary colours but not freak yourself out, that's actually another really good option. So have some fun with some colour. It is a shawl that just screams play with colour, screams play around with things. I should actually have a look and see if there's stuff from the stash that I can play around with. I'm just looking at everything, of course, is in finer weights, which doesn't help. I'm just leaning. No, of course, everything I can see at arm's length is 4-ply. Oh, Helen, you are there. I thought that colour combination was very you. Yeah, so have a little play around, particularly too if you've got, I mean, you may have some whisper fine left over from a project that you've already done, or some other mohair, some Rowan Kid say silk haze, or you may have some pieces of an expensive indie dyed mohair that you've got. It only requires around 25 grams of lace weight mohair, so it doesn't require a lot at all. And then goes, please fine, that's okay. We're going to ignore that. So yeah, there's some really fun stuff that you can do with those colour combinations. So I just thought it was a really great pattern release. Really enjoyed that. Now the other things that I thought of looking for patterns, I have also had a quick look in the RAV, and there's a couple of patterns that I've had a look, and I'm going to actually possibly put a couple of these in the newsletter. The ones to have a look at are Lovage, Lovage, and that's a long line cardigan. And then there's another one called Spencer and a third one called Marlowe, and they're all actually using Barocco yarns. And in fact, I don't think that Barocco yarn is still available, but there are yarns that were using this beautiful sort of ombre styled long sort of prints, fairly similar to our pulse. So the patterns have been designed to actually make the most of those color shifts and changes. So if you're looking for a starting point, that is a really great starting point. I did Miss Jane in Pulse, which I loved, and I did it because the directions of the way you work your stitches change within, so you then get some really fun things happening with the stripes. So at the top the stripes are going this way, and then around the body they're going this way as you're working with them. So that's really fun. So it's just about finding, and actually even things like if you're knitting smaller things and you're wanting to do, for example, some baby knitting or some children's knitting, the Elizabeth Zimmerman baby surprise jacket, and I think she's kind of like got an adult version, which I think is just called the surprise jacket. That mitered cornered piece for construction is actually fantastic. It really is very clever. So that is certainly something that is worth checking out. So have a look at that. Poor Claire. It's always the way. It never ever rings, but then it rings and rings all the time. There we go. Robin's just saying she has purchased the Mystic Square pattern by James Watts. That would be fantastic in Pulse. Great suggestion. And of course, I know a number of you, and I know Delene has done this, a number of you have knitted Milos in the Pulse and then done Milo and Flight, or Milo and Vintage combinations with the colours because of the mitering through the top part. Garter stitch works fabulously well with Pulse. It really does look great. And then of course, and that's without even jumping into the whole colour work avenue. And if you're doing, say for example, stuff like this is, as I said, the Cagney, this is the grey in the Vintage Noir collection. This is such a fantastic neutral base, but if you're looking for colour work over the top, you need contrast. See, look at those two together. So, you know, that's when you're heading into the gold wing, the feather cardigan. In fact, I think Kirsty's was using the lace wing, see, something like that, and the feather cardigan would be amazing. You know, the world is your oyster, really. So there are so many different combinations that you can do. So just have some fun with it. Do have some fun with it. Right, the other thing I wanted to show you before I headed off for the day is back on our theme for Christmas packs, and we have been busy, and in fact I think I've loaded these up now. We have been busy making up our own gift packs. We've got these fantastic gift boxes and we've been making up these gift packs, and this is the one that we're doing here. We're using the wonderful Lisa Reeve patterns that we have. This is the first one we've started with. This is the Jasper cardigan pack. It's $39, and we're using this with our new Flight Naturals Light, which is just perfect. So you get in here a pattern leaflet, so you get the full pattern, plus you get 5 balls of Flight yarn, and also the buttons to go in there to complete the pattern as well. Those have just arrived, so we're just going to fill those in. And the only thing not included in here is the needles, but everything else is in there. So if you're wanting to actually find something that is a great gift for a knitter, you've got another friend who's a knitter, or you know somebody that wants to get back into knitting, these packs are a great idea. They're going out, like this one's $39 each, whereas the full value of everything in there is around $45. So you save a bit of money off the bat, and of course if you buy it on Friday you're going to save even more. So that's the little Jasper one we've started with. We've also got this one here, which is Bebe Chocolat. And if anyone remembers Bebe Chocolat, this is a design of mine from many, many moons ago. And this one here is a great little starter pack. It's going out at $19.95. It's just a single-sized cardigan for a sort of a newborn to 3-month old baby, or 6 to 12 months, sorry, 6 to 12. It's been so long since I wrote it. There's buttons in here. There's also 3 balls of flight, plus there's extra in here for the little motif as well. We've got and wound some off, so you can actually do the motif whether you do it in tarsia or duplicate stitch, but we have added that in there as well, and that's actually a really neat little pack. So those are the Jaspers are up live now. I've just got to load the Bebe Chocolats up, so they will be up today. And then we will also be adding, oopsie, hitchhiker packs as well. So once I finish the sample here, we will be doing some hitchhiker packs, which will include the hitchhiker pattern, the yarn, and they may actually, that one may even include the needle. We haven't quite decided yet, since it's a single needle required. So we're just going to start putting together some really fun things like that for you to enjoy over Christmas. And in terms of patterns, we've just got these in from Rowan. This is the Rowan Union book. These are a selection of designs by Martin Story. All of these designs, even though they are all beautiful looking males in here, all of these designs are classic Martin Story. And, you know, to be brutally honest with you, these will be suitable for anybody. There's accessories, there's scarves, grandpa cardigans, and a lot of these are worked, and in fact I think most of them, if not all of them, are worked flat. So if you, I know we've had people saying, oh, can you please show us patterns that are worked flat. This is my little favorite here, the Bark collection. They have it in a plain v-neck sweater. How often have we been looking for those? Or you could do it in a crew neck, and it also includes a French bulldog motif. So yes, there's some really, really fun, gorgeous, look at these, those cabled errands there, Hank and Apollo. Some really lovely stuff. So we're just getting those loaded up as well. We've got about, looking over, I think we've got about half a dozen of those in. Don't ask me the price because I don't know. Would need to look that up. But they're hot off the press. They've just arrived. So there's still plenty of fun stuff to be had for Christmas. So do make sure that you check those out and you have a look and sort of get your Christmas gift shopping bits and pieces pulled together for the holiday season. So as I said, you guys will get the first nibble of the voucher code on Thursday for Black Friday, so make sure you don't miss out on that. And then once you've got that, Friday we're off to the races all day. And as I said, Kathy Hunt, French Bulldog sold, she says. Yes, I know, I thought of you as soon as I saw that. Kathy has French Bulldogs. As soon as I saw that, I thought of you instantly, Kathy. I know, even Damien here, when it came in, he had a look and he picked up the store copy and he was flicking through and he goes, oh, I like that. And he looked hopefully at one of us, whether we would knit it for him. So funny. Yeah, so it's really exciting. I love this time of year because we're getting all these really neat, wonderful, exciting things in, and it's just awesome. In terms of the mill, actually, had a catch-up meeting with Peter at the mill this morning. We've got hopefully early next month, the Chatswood would be back. It's imminent. There's, I think, only 1 or 2 things ahead of it in the production plan, and then all the Chatswood is coming back in. Really looking forward to that. I know so many of you have been missing Chatswood. I've been missing Chatswood, so that is looking like it will be coming back in early December, which is great news. And of course, the other thing heading into December, January is Stitch in Summer. So there is still plenty of fun to be had. Don't forget Time Warp, our theme on the Skeinz Speakeasy. That is still rolling along. I'm loving seeing what everybody's up to and feeling nostalgic and where things take you in terms of your Time Warp. And then, of course, we'll go straight into Stitch in Summer things after that. We're probably going to make some really neat gift pack prizes for Stitch in Summer, so keep an eye out for those, and we're going to do loads of them, so there'll be lots of winners, so that will be heaps of fun too. So until then, have a great week. I will see you again on Thursday, but until then, let's talk to you soon. Happy stitching and take care.